Headbutt dinosaur. Oh, God. I want to thank the person that sent me the headbutt dinosaur. And now I'm looking up how to pronounce it. So we open with Candy on her Pachycephalosaurus. That's the headbutt dinosaur. Pachycephalosaurus. Let's say it together. Pachycephalosaurus. Child, I'm on my Auntie Bev today. A Pachycephalosaurus. Sheree saying, oh, so Martel slipped in your DMs. And Kenya's like, it was at least 6 months ago. Okay, Kenya. He was probably just asking you directions how to get to a woman he was attracted to. That's probably why he was in your DMs. Because you repel men like DDT does mosquitoes. But across the room, Candy's still, you better, Pixie, you better. I'm a Pachycephala. God, now we looking at Martel again. I just got through with your face last night. But Sheree gonna say, one of Candy's minions has tea on Martel. Sheree, why don't you have any minions? Because you don't have any money. Sanya goes to check on Candy after she's comforted her pit bull. So she's upset with Sanya for letting her walk into mess. Donna said, oh, she's Sheree's friend. That's why she's bouncing. Speaking of bouncing, girl, there are some pictures of you going around on Twitter with a woman. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to believe that you and this pink toe is bumping bus? Okay, girl. Candy's like, but I need a heads up or you gonna get a head butt. Oh, Sanya's bone carrying this season. She runs to go get Sheree to bring her over to Candy to let her know about the bouncing and the pachycephalus. The pachycephalus. Marlo said I'm the only one behaving. Seek therapy. Girl, you're not behaving. Your husband hunting. A man with money around you act like you got some sense because you're at work. You know how to act at work. So Sanya goes back to tend to her husband at his birthday. She's like, oh, y'all want to gossip about Sheree's man dating somebody in Atlanta and Sheree wants you to have more receipts? I don't really need this. I've carried my bone. And Lord knows now Kenya's upset. Oh, well, you're very aggressive, Marcellus. So Martel comes up but gives us Marta telling Kenya that, oh, I messaged you? Well, you probably accept everybody's messages. Girl, you really think just because you got 2 muscles, everybody wants your pussy? Fine idiots are a dime a dozen. And actually, you're not even a fine idiot. You're an asshole. An idiot can make himself useful. It is amazing to see such a self-righteous bum. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a man with no value who thinks too much of himself. So now we pulling up the deleted message. Oh, Martel's like, oh, that was 2 years ago, not 6 months ago. See, he gonna run with anything you give him. He should run with that outside baby. And the only place he needs to be running is to the bank for child support checks. Now, Candy, I know you want to say, oh, I don't believe him, but he only had one message from 2020 there. Oh, Candy, actually, you're wrong. If there had been multiple messages that he deleted, then there would have been multiple messages that showed up on Kenya's phone that said deleted. There was only one deleted message, so that's how it works with Instagram. So no, he didn't message her multiple times. He did only message her once 2 years ago. And again, let's not act like there was any real romance with him and Kenya. He likes them young and dumb. Kenya is neither. To her credit, Kenya is neither. Now, she looked young, but Kenya's too mature for a Martel. I'm surprised she didn't hire him first, because they were going through their divorce about that time, and I could totally see him wanting to get on the Bravo gravy train. And quiet as it's kept, Carlos King probably had something to do with it. I'm not saying for sure or for certain, but I bet you a thin man bet you a fat one. But when you get to the bottom, you usually find a bottom. Once a cheater, always a cheater, you fucking piece of shit. Kenya, I cannot argue with that statement. For once, we are on the same side. So she tells Sheree, this is the same shit you dealt with before. I don't see Martel getting physical. I don't. But he's definitely a mental abuser. However, we can't get this hype and act like this relationship is a relationship or in any way authentic. These are two, Well, we can't call them thespians. One of them gives me lesbian. But these are two people trying to improvise a scene. This is not an authentic relationship. I couldn't muster a feeling of protection when I would see my friend with someone like that, knowing that they're just playing. They're acting. Oh, Jesus. Sheree saying, I just wanted the girls to meet my guy. That is not your guy. One, you can never claim community cock. That's everybody dick. That is everybody dick. It belongs to the streets. You need it, you take it. But you gotta give it back. That's catch and release dick. But Sheree does have a point. Kenya is trying to create a narrative from something that happened 2 years ago, anything to give her a plot line to keep us away from her lack of business. Because Kenya is always looking for a moment, let's be real. But Sheree, you brought Martel to the party so people would try to embarrass him. And he's such a narcissist that any attention he gets, he'll sop up. So he's willing to be embarrassed and let us peek at his prostate for a penny. Because the truth is, that's all he has. All right, well, they actually given us something this season. I mean, even Sheree has showed up with a pretend man, and they really given us some acting. All right. It's the next day, and we have Drew's homecoming. Oh, Drew's going back in the studio. I don't want to discourage people from pursuing their dreams at any age, because you can. But Drew, you've been here before. I think you're better at being an actress that pretends to be a singer than being a singer. People ain't buying music right now anyway. Oh, Lord, now Ralph wants to nurture her gift. Okay, so if you have failed at music time and time and time again, but succeeded at acting, maybe focus on that. Maybe focus on the acting. Maybe the music just needs to live inside of you and you don't need to let it out. Maybe it needs to stay in. Oh, God, and Ralph is your producer? How Latasha Scott of you. Oh, they're in the best place they've been in their marriage. Because you finally agreed on separation, privately? Oh, and Ralph is cousins with the new heifer? Meanwhile, across town, Sanya and Candy are having a lunch. So Sanya has to move her extended family out the heezy, and yeah, your husband's right. It's time for them to go. And Candy is, of course, a busy businesswoman going over contracts. Well, now we get to the party mess. So Sanya's telling Candy, you know the new girl said you was ghetto. And Candy's like, and what did you say? How did you come to my defense? Sanya was like, I did take up for you. Girl, you was laughing and kikiing. I feel like I told her you ain't felt shit. And she didn't call you ghetto. She said your followers were ghetto. Sanya talking about, oh, the folks Candy brought out didn't look worldwide, and we was talking about how Candy was worldwide last year. Girl, you know she was calling Candy's followers ghetto, therefore Candy's ghetto by default. She brings a ghetto crowd even if she's upper class, upper crust, upscale, uptown. So we head over to Candy's restaurant, and this is the one in the urban area. Really, Candy? Is that what you're calling it now? Urban? Urban. Did you hear the way she said urban? Herb. Her emphasis on the herb. And Sheree says, well, we don't know if we getting biscuits or bullets. I'm glad, Sheree, that you finally got another catchphrase after 15 years. After 15 years. So every 15 years you have a success? It's a shame it wasn't with She by Sheree. However, the production was like, are y'all gonna get into this incident? Oh no, because of the legal issues. They like, yeah, legal issues, whatever and what have you, but we got a show to do. Tell your business. Oh, now we have Kenya and her daughter who looks just like her daddy, but not in a dentist way. And Kenya has a friend? A friend? And a pretty friend. Although, well, Kenya was definitely jealous of Portia, although I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, she married a rail-headed sissy and got nothing. Got nothing but a bump on her ass when he put her on the curb. I wouldn't be jealous of that. Then she got with Dennis, and now she's married to Esther Roll. It's not a life I'd want to live. I mean, maybe if Esther was dead, but Ooh, you gotta wake up to that every day? Every day? And you stole him. Ooh, I don't understand people's choices. Oh, Lord, now Kenya got a new man. Did she actually get a man? Did she actually get a man? Does he actually want you? 'Cause I'm tired of going down this road with you and you still trying to get divorced and we haven't seen a marriage certificate yet. Where is Kenya legally married? Who has found their marriage certificate? Because they filed in New York. I still don't know if they're actually married. I need proof. Because you can go down to the court and file papers. Don't mean you married. I could file for divorce right now against somebody I'm not married to. That don't stop it from filing and getting on the docket. You can put anything on a docket. You can indict a ham sandwich. So I'm still not sure if Kenya's married yet. Just because you keep lying about it, don't make it true. Across town, Sanya's going to dinner with Shit Ray. I guess on getting lessons in bone carrying. Sheree's enjoying being a grandma. Are your grandchildren sleeping on air mattresses on the floor, Sheree? Like your son was? I wonder. Because we only see the downstairs of that house. We ain't seen bedroom to first. And speaking of your children, Sheree, did you ever get your daughter's fiance's tooth fixed? Or did they walk down the aisle, her all in white and him with the beige tooth? Well, tan tooth, darker than beige. Did you ever get that taken care of? Did they ever get married? So Sheree says Kenya was saying that Martel was aggressive, just like she said your husband was aggressive. Now, Kenya, I will say Martel was being slick, but you were definitely trying to buck up the situation. And we've seen you do that with that fool that was in Miami with the drunk aunt that he ended up pushing and she fell out. Oh, God. But you was definitely putting 20 on 10. You were definitely trying to amp things up. I ain't saying Martel wasn't wrong. I ain't saying that. But you were definitely like, ooh, let's see if we can get a rise out of him. Girl. Oh, Kenya said, ooh, Martel Jordan cussed me out. Leave Martel out of this. He had a good show. Kenya, I feel like if you really wanted to be a friend to Sheree, you would have mentioned that DM in a one-on-one, not at a party in front of him. You did it to start mess. Normally, I'd call this your manless mess, but it's not. But you're still messy. Manless or not, that's sad. That's sad. You getting dick on the regular, and you still messy. You still feel the need to ruin other women's game. But then again, maybe you're being a friend to Sheree by stirring this turd, giving her what she's never had, a plot line. Sheree, you can't even say Martel may not have been 100% right because this happened 2 years ago. Y'all wasn't dating. And y'all are just dating. There's no labels. You know, you're just playing around for a plot line. You ain't never seen that man naked. You ain't never kissed him. You ain't never kissed him on a lip. And he sure ain't never kissed you on your lip. Kenya, are you trying to pull a Nene Leakes with this wig? Because you look a fool. You look a fool. Normally you look good in your confessionals. Normally your hair is on point. You are known for having this beautiful, glamorous black hair. And it goes with your complexion so well. Not only is this ombre washing you out, along with this beige bathing suit, but it looks comical. I would expect Giselle Bryant in a $49.99 wig like this. I would call her the Lucerne. But I expect more from you. This isn't Kenya more hair care. Kenya. But Kenya's upset that Sheree didn't stand up for her. You didn't need nobody to stand up for you. You was standing up for yourself perfectly fine. You was getting a little bobblehead too. Kenya, we really supposed to act like you was actually with Matt? We really supposed to believe that that was a relationship and you two were intimate? I thought he broke your window because your payments was late. That's what I thought. I never thought y'all were in any kind of an actual relationship. I thought that's what happens when you decide to cut a man out your plot line. And now he's not getting the rest of his season checks. He thought he was going on the Cavs trip. See, that's what I thought. You promised him a free trip. And he got petty bitch with it. That's a queen move. Again, all the more making me think y'all wasn't in nobody's relationship. But okay, Kenya, you were intimate with Matt. Y'all were actually in a relationship. I thought that was a disgruntled employee. Not to be compared with the actual domestic violence Sheree Whitfield went through. Because they were in a real relationship. Y'all was playing for a plot line, but okay, if that's what we supposed to believe. Do y'all really think Kenya was with Matt? Because I really thought that was about her breaking up with him and him no longer being on the show. I never felt like they were together like her and Walter. And Walter came on the radio and said, yeah, no. Oh, gosh. Kenya gonna say, well, Sheree, you just had a man in prison 5 months ago that made you look like a fool. No, that was Sheree's piss poor planning. That man ain't make her look like nobody's fool. Sheree made herself look like a fool. One, bringing that felon on the show. But production said, look, you gotta shake up something. So Sheree's doing anything she can for a plot line. And Kenya, for you to act like these are real relationships, I don't know if you're being a true friend or a gullible fool. Oh, Kenya gonna say Sheree dickmatized? How is she dickmatized? Is she putting her strap-on on? Because Sheree ain't had dick since her third child was born. I think that was the last time she even saw a penis. Oh, God. Drew in the studio in fake Balenciaga. TikTok at best fiend. So after that scene I ignored, we've got She by Sheree with a fake Birkin going to a fake distribution center because we know this shit done by Shein. And Kenya dropped by in a cute cat suit. Now this is giving body. I mean, I like your little pageant dresses, but this is a nice fashion risk. So they get into the Martel situation. And Kenya says, well, when did I deserve to be cussed out? And Sheree said, well, look, you both got hype. Sheree said, he showed me that 2-year-old DM. It wasn't 6 months. I said it was over 6 months. Girl, you said it was 6 months. You were trying to put yourself in the timeline. It was pre-you. Okay, so if it was pre-her, why did you feel the need to bring it up at the party for a moment? Sheree's like, look, Kenya, you ambushed him and you were disrespectful as well. Kenya said, I wasn't disrespectful. Flash to her calling him a cheating piece of shit. Sheree is appalled at how Kenya treated her plot line. Kenya's like, it's unacceptable for a man to act like that. And Sheree said, but it's okay for you to get in his face. You fine. Because you were quite hyped, Kenya, I must say. You were trying to escalate the situation. We've seen you do it before. Oh, what is your issue with calling black men aggressive? Are they public enemy number one because you don't have one? Sheree is here to play this season. I don't know who's writing your reads, but yes. Sheree is really holding a Kenya accountable. She's like, you can't be disrespectful and expect respect. That's basically what Sheree's saying. You decided to get Buck, and he said, okay, I'll go with you. He said, oh, I'll queen out. I will queen out, bitch. That was good for an episode 2. This has been a juicy, meaty season. I mean, normally episode 2 is like, oh, okay. I mean, remember how sad episode 2 of season 13 was? And 12. They might actually deliver because they needed to get it together.